Just as we wait for people to join the Zoom webinar, just like to welcome everybody to this webinar by See It 3D. Let's revolutionize your design process by unlocking the power of SketchUp. So, some guidelines for a focus session. The audience will be kept on mute during the webinar. Please complete our short survey at the end, providing some webinar feedback. Use the chat on the Zoom meeting controls to ask questions. Ideally, we shall attend to the questions at the end of the event. Myself and Adam will probably jump in if we feel we can at the time to respond, but questions session at the end. So if you type in the chat 2024 so that we know you can hear us and see our screens, then we can start. Okay, so the first presenter, myself, James Oxton, 3D SketchUp professional and business owner. I'm an ETC SketchUp trainer, among one of the first trainers with Atlas Software, the original creators of SketchUp. And my knowledge and training goes to about 20 years extensive SketchUp knowledge and training experience. We're an authorized partner, formerly with Atlas Software, then with Google, and now Trimble as an authorized training center, sales partner, and technical support provider. I'm client-centered, focusing on understanding your unique needs and providing practical, tailored solutions to help you achieve project success with confidence, ease, and best for value service. And I'm going to hand you over to Adam.
So, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Adam Tomaszczyk, and I'm based in southern Poland. And I started learning SketchUp back in 2010, also layout and V-Ray. And then I added to that tools GIMP, Photoshop, and Inkscape. And then after a couple of years, I realized that I also can use Blender for different purposes of 3D modeling. And taking all that, I'm teaching others how to use SketchUp mainly, V-Ray and layout. And also I was teaching for 1 year in Krakow in private school. So this is my professional field, and my hobby field is that I enjoy woodworking a lot. So there's nothing better than designing your idea in SketchUp, do the tech work in layout, and then build it in real life. So that's what I enjoy. And as well, I have some words about SketchUp. Let me just tell you that you really need to use shortcuts, and when you combine them with good extensions, then you can really work very efficiently, very quickly in SketchUp. So I can say that I'm a shortcut tyrant for sure. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Adam. So we really thank you for attending. We are gaining your trust using SketchUp from Adam and myself's combined 59 years of knowledge. So let's look at a question to reflect on. And the question is, does my current workflow give me all the tools to provide the best designs, concepts, and client satisfaction? I know everyone has a unique approach to running their design business, but what am I missing? Am I confident I have all the pieces of the workflow puzzle? Am I missing opportunities with my current tools? Exploring your workflow, how do you manage design workflows? Do you rely on one tool or a combination of tools? We only use 2D CAD. How do you visualize designs in 3D, convince clients of your design vision, test design options quickly, and how long does that take? Is your current process helping you win more projects and avoid miscommunication? How do you or your office manage design workflows? We only use Revit. How do you start design ideation? Focus on what's important in the early design. Test design options quickly. How long does that take? Other option. So how do you manage design workflows? We can only afford one tool. Yes, but imagine getting quicker sign-offs from clients, win more projects, increase the quality of my work, reduce confusion and errors. Take your workflow to the next level. If you're already a SketchUp Pro, have you considered how SketchUp Studio can elevate your workflow? Go beyond basic modeling. Studio adds advanced tools for design analysis, collaboration, and visualization. Achieve faster client sign-offs, win more projects, and reduce costly miscommunication. Studio isn't just an upgrade, it's a complete solution for delivering higher quality work and furthermore driving better business success. Does your business feel a bit restricted, colorless, monotonous in workflow? Here's an AI interpretation of a modern design office with a busy atmosphere, but it's still constrained to a single type of design software. The tone remains professional yet restricted, reflecting a focused but monotonous workflow. We all like color and more collaborative and connected environments. So here we have people in a dynamic and vibrant modern design office, actively engaging with advanced technology and collaborating with shifting innovative space. So let's look at SketchUp in construction. Okay. SketchUp's widely used by leading construction companies globally due to its speed, flexibility, and ease of use. It integrates seamlessly into various construction workflows and pairs well with their Trimble and industry software that's used by others. Understanding these workflows is crucial to see why it's a go-to tool for large-scale projects. So why is it important to understand these workflows? It's because construction is hard. So the AI interpretation here is shown with challenges like varying site conditions, permits, and skills availability. Communication is vital to identify and address these issues early. SketchUp helps simplify workflows and maintain clarity, ensuring smoother project execution. Other complexities here with housing construction on one side and garden design on the other, so emphasizing the use of advanced tools like SketchUp to bring clarity to these intricate processes makes so much sense. The construction industry faces significant inefficiencies with 85% of projects exceeding budgets, 92% running over schedule, and many companies still relying on outdated methods like paper, forms, and spreadsheets. The results in low-profile margins of just 4% annually in the AEC market, despite constructions contributing 13% to global GDP. So Trimble addresses these challenges by promoting solutions to enhance efficiency and productivity in construction and project management. What is generally talked about when looking at the terms of connected construction? By connecting efficiencies together, Trimble looks at this as the three C's. Okay, the three C's of constructible process are the foundation of Trimble's approach to construction. Constructible, create precise, actionable models to anticipate issues, reduce errors, and ensure projects are delivered on time. Connected, seamlessly share high-fidelity data across software, teams, and locations to enhance collaboration and integrate workflows like SketchUp, Revit, CAD, etc. Content-enabled, use detailed, curated data to streamline processes, eliminating confusion, and improve efficiency during manufacturing, installation, and build. So we're just at the start in learning the 3Cs process, and the advantages are there is less rework, we can work faster, leave less waste. More SketchUp users are becoming connected. 3D models are being shared for collaboration and coordination around the world, and Trimble have already seen this from their own data. And it's similar in SketchUp also, for example, with Autodesk. SketchUp complements Autodesk products, fitting into collaborative workflows to improve efficiency. SketchUp's largest customer is also Autodesk's largest customer, highlighting its role alongside tools like AutoCAD LT and Revit. Architects use SketchUp with other software across stages like conceptual design, planning, approvals, and construction, ensuring a seamless process from concept to completion. So Trimble knows exactly where SketchUp has been used from data over the last 20 years, from visualization, presentation, documentation, model sharing, and SketchUp is excelling in these workflows. So let's have a look at SketchUp's integrated winning ecosystem in a 2D plan view. Gold stars highlighting SketchUp Studio's premium tools, Revit Importer, Scan Essentials, and V-Ray. So every solution with SketchUp's ecosystem helps to connect and drive the concept to completion workflow stages of design. Here we look at the winning concept of the ecosystem more closely in 3D. This then takes us to the concept to completion stage. We start at the beginning with professional workflow tools. The creative mindset comes to life, developing the concept using SketchUp sketchy styles inside SketchUp Pro. We then focus on enhancing the model by adding materials, context, terrain, shadows, and simple 2D people are included to provide a sense of proportion and bring the design to life. This stage reveals technical details, including wall construction, hangers, and 3D components, ensuring the model clearly communicates buildable design intent. Technical details, dimensions, and references are prepared in a CAD-like style using layout. Detailed 3D models are also included to clearly explain build requirements, ensuring precision, understanding, and well-designed solutions while avoiding unforeseen problems on site. High-end CGI graphics are created in V-Ray, showcasing external landscapes, site views, solar impact, and true-to-life visuals. Merged with a construction visualization, this proves a full-scale representation of the build operation in exceptional quality. So this connected studio workflow using SketchUp, Layout, and V-Ray helps to confirm this example of Trimble's 3Cs constructible process. So to cover some exciting and typical SketchUp Power workflow recommendations, I'm now going to hand you over to Adam, who is going to take you through a really good process, and he's got some added extras in there for you to learn. Over
That's
to
right.
Adam.
So to begin with, let me just quickly show you how we can shape the basic form of that building. So here we have some JPEG elevations and the floor plan. And based on that, I'm going to do the basic shape of the building. Then I'm going to import it into layout. And yeah, we're going to proceed further with layout and with the presentation of another interior. But first, we're going to start with that. So let me just quickly start in the corner. So this, just a quick mention, those JPEGs are already in the scale 1:1. So the modeling process is being done in centimeters. So I'll start with the basic shape on the wall in the corner, and then with the push-pull tool, just the basic shapes. So with that plus in the push-pull tool, we are creating the new starting phase, and that will allow us to create the openings very quickly. I'm not focusing now on the exact dimensions to each millimeter, because this is just the basic shape of the building, just to show you how quickly we can work with that. All right. So also the shortcuts here are important, as we mentioned earlier. All right. So the building gonna be done very quickly, very soon. Just a couple more walls. Here we have the corner window. Okay, turn that back on. Yeah, to the wall here, and we go further. Yes. So I mark all the openings in case I don't see something. I can always turn on the X-ray mode inside of SketchUp. So moving further here, we're nearly there in the last corner. Here. Okay. And now I'm going to create the openings. Right. So this is the group. I can hide the rest of the model very quickly without any problem. So now let me just rise it a little bit, just to have the ground floor covered. Maybe like that. And then I'm gonna set the height for the openings. So I'll select all that. Again, the X-ray mode will be helpful here. Here we have the corner window. Okay, that will be turned off now. And I'm gonna give 230, I believe. It was 230 centimeters. Let me just quickly check. Yeah, 230. Okay, and now I'll do the opening. 1, 2. We need to reverse the faces in case you will see the different color in the styles menu. You can tell that front color is white, back color is green. So I'm gonna switch that right away, because with this method, it's always like that one part, one face will be reversed. And here, I'm gonna do the bottom part, maybe 90 centimeters. right? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to group that and reverse this. And in a moment, I'm going to clean up the geometry from that unwanted lines, because that's also important here to get rid of that efficiently, because manual cleanup would take too long, and there is very quick method to do it in a more efficient way with the plugin, with the Fix-It 101, it's called. Right here, I'm going to do that. Double click also allows us to do the same, to repeat the last command. Okay. And the last one here to the top. Okay, and I'm going to reverse that. So now we have all the openings done. And let me just hide quickly a couple of elevations. Okay, maybe I'm going to leave this one. Yeah, because it will be needed in a moment. So now we have that, and we have all the lines. Normally, I would have to delete them one by one, but with that Fix-It tool, it can all be deleted at once. So now it is deleted, and I'm going to push that a little bit higher. And now I would need that part of the wall. So from what I remember, it was 30 degrees on that roof. So I'm going to put 30 here with the rotate tool and 30 here. And I'm going to just draw the line again and group that again. So it is now a separate group, and I can copy that to the other side with move tool and control or command on, or not command, sorry. On Mac, it would be option or alt. It depends on the, actually on the keyboard of Mac. So this piece here should be covered like that, at least from the elevation standpoint. See, that's what we have here. And then I'm going to group that together. And what would be helpful here is to draw those triangles here still. So maybe like that. I'll do it here. That remaining piece of the wall, basically. Yeah, this part here. Okay, and now I can group that. I'm just grouping it now without making components, because I want to speed up that workflow. And now, once we have that, we can group that as well. And now I'll do the foundation. So I'll copy that part. I'm going to group that inside and put it lower. I'm going to group that part of the foundation now again, and I'm going to give 150, for example, the height of the foundation. Then I'm going to group that again, paste in place. So it will, because normal pasting, Control V pastes next to the cursor, and Shift V paste in place, paste that in the same place in 3D space. So I'm going to do it like that now, 15 centimeters away, offset 15 inside. I'm going to delete that, leave that. And now, again, Fix-It 101. Now we have that. And basically, that building starts to look. The shape is we're getting there. Let me just make the floor quickly. Maybe 30 centimeters. And the top floor, I mean the first floor, also the slab, maybe 28. Okay, so now we have those two pieces, and we could put that on the tag as well, on the layer. It used to be called layer, to have easier access to the inside of the building. And now we could just copy those lines, or just that one line, Control C, and this is going to be roof. So extension, extrude lines vector by 2 point, and here I'm going to click and do the, so it basically extrudes the line to the plane. And now I'm going to use push pull. I'm still hiding rest of the model. Maybe I can hide the front elevation. All right. So I'm going to quickly block that out like this. Here with push-pull, I'm going to cut that. This as well. Again, fix it. And now I'm going to do the component from that. Control-C, copy the original position. -1 on scale. Shift-V, paste in place. And almost done. We just need to stretch that like 70 centimeters further and 70 here. Okay. And if I'll turn off the side elevation, let's see. Okay. And basically we got it. So this is how it looks like. We can now put that on the hidden layer. So I'm maybe base shape 2. I'm going to put that here. Untagged base shape 2. And one extension, which is still, it should be available on the internet, JF add layer. It will allow us to hide that layer by default. And the reason why I'm doing it is because I already have that building done with more details. So as you can see here, this is the building that was pre-made earlier. I was doing it earlier, and this is the basic shape on another layer. So that's it. And now we can put that in layout. So once we have the basic shape, I can prepare the scene. So here we have those views in SketchUp. We have the isometric view. We can switch to parallel projection from perspective. So I'll go to parallel projection. This is what we got. So we have the front view, the side views, the rear view, and the bottom as well from the for the foundation. So by default, you're getting that nice views to quickly set the elevations. But obviously for the interior, you would need the section planes as well, which I'm going to show in a moment. But for the externals, that should be fine. That should do. So you base the layout drawings always on the scenes in SketchUp. That's quite important because afterwards in layout, you have full control over the scenes. And also you base work in layout with the documentation on the styles in SketchUp. That's also quite important because it doesn't influence the model that you have. It only influences the display of the model. So once we have, let's say, the style set with ambient occlusion and lines, this ambient occlusion adds that depth, that extra depth to the model. It was implemented in 2024 version, which helps quite a lot with the documentation, especially in the black and white style for linear drawings. And yeah, so once we have that, we have the elevations set already. I did it earlier with the scenes. One with the color, then the side. And you don't really need to set each elevation or each scene with all the styles in SketchUp. You only need one to make sure that the style will be saved inside of SketchUp file. So once we have this, and we also have some perspectives, we can then proceed into layout. So normally you would go to File and Send to Layout, and then it will open layout for you, and you'll be able to work further. I already have that done. So this is the model that I've been working on. I'm going to show you where is the control panel, file, document setup, and in the reference, this is the name of the file, which is out of date because we added some changes and it wasn't yet saved. So this is here, and all the changes made in the model will be automatically changed in layout as well, which is, yeah, probably one of the most important features inside of layout, because all the documentation is connected to SketchUp model. So anything you change, let's say you have 20 pages document in layout, anything you will change in the model will be influenced directly on each drawing. So it's much less hassle than manually changing the drawings like you would have to do in AutoCAD, for example. Okay, so here we have some pages already, and we have access, direct access from layout with the SketchUp panel, SketchUp model panel to the tags. So if you are, and you should be using tags in SketchUp, because then in layout you will have that direct access to each piece of the data. So let's say I would decide to switch off the roof on that drawing. I can do it very quickly inside layout, and it will influence only that specific page, because each page has a separate drawing. So if I would do, let's say, again, I will turn off the second floor roof. That's what I called it, but yeah, obviously it's not necessarily the right name here, but it's the roof anyway. So you see in the first drawing it is still here, and in the second drawing it's not. So that's how we are getting that extra level of control. And we also can change the lines for each piece of the geometry that is on separate tag. So here you can do it, but I'm not going to go into too much of the details here. So that's how it works. And let me also show you one more example regarding the interior. So I'm going to move into here, and let me show you that drawing. So this is how it starts. I created that scene with the color by tag. So each tag is being represented by different color. And I think that it looks pretty good as a starting page. And then we have the new walls, and underneath we have the floor plan, basically the function of the room. And in layout itself, it looks basically, it's quite simple. We have 3 layers of data. Let me just show you real quick here. So we have the drawing SketchUp, which is the main part. Underneath we have drawing SketchUp lines, or actually it should be overlay function in this case, but I had a mistake here. And underneath that we have the function. So this part should be here actually. So that's how you compose this kind of drawings. So let me quickly show you one more example with the electricity. Yeah. So here with the electricity, we have in SketchUp model. That's it. So each object, those are components. Each lamp is the component, and each lamp has this projection closer to the floor. And the reason for that projection is that you don't really want to manually measure each piece in SketchUp just to put that piece in layout accordingly. You want to have the manual, not the manual, but automatically. You want to have that done automatically. So to do it, I'm using the method. Let me just stretch that out a little. I'm using that method with the lamps, ceiling molding, skirting boards, function color, electricity. Yeah, there it is. So here is the section of the entire flat, of the interior. So that's the section we are using for the drawing, for the scene. And the style is being used as technical drawing lines electricity. So as you can see, I have multiple styles. So always remember that if you are planning to work in layout, you really need at least 2 or 3 styles inside of SketchUp. And you are using one for the editing, for the modeling, and you are using at least 2 more, the linear and the colors for layout. Otherwise, if you are just using one, there will be always problems. The sections are going to disappear, and you will be basically very annoyed for that. So that's the reason for the projection on the lamps. As you can see, if I'll turn the section off, the lamps are still there, but they are being projected underneath the section. So that's how I compose from that plan electricity is being composed inside of layout from a couple of pieces. So we have that one with the dimensions also, because dimensions moved with that, because dimensions only are, yeah, basically it's being measured only on that layer. And underneath we have the layer for the function, and also some symbols for each group of the light. So it's the same method as with the new walls on the second drawing, wall design. So that's how it works. And also, obviously, we are not being limited for only to floor plans. We can also have the elevations of each piece of the design. So once you have 3D model, you can utilize it in layout as well. You just need to create the scene with the section. And let's say we would like to have the bathroom, the bathroom design presented. So we can do it. We can create the scenes with the sections, and then we can proceed into layout. And here we can put that. So here we have the floor plan. Then we have a couple of drawings. So I connect quite often in this way, that this is the horizontal section, the floor plan, and it aligns nicely with the elevation views from the design. So that's how I do it. And in the end, once you have that, obviously it will take some time, especially when you are doing it for the first time. But I highly encourage everyone to try layout, especially when you are already working in SketchUp. And then you can export that out into nice PDFs in quite, in high quality without any problem. You can implement perspectives as well. You can do some fancy frames here and there. It's really up to you. So it is the same. It works the same with the house example. Actually, let me just go back to it and show you. So this is just the style from SketchUp, X-ray mode turned on inside of SketchUp, and couple of, here we have the ambient occlusion in practice used on the technical drawing. Here we have some color drawings and so on. So basically, this drawing took me something like 10 minutes to set up in SketchUp. First the perspectives, then the elevation views, then the export, and it was really quick. The scale, setting the scale is automatic in layout. Obviously, first time when you will enter that software, when you open that software in the preferences, you should set your own scales. I'm using mostly Polish scales without imperial units, because I don't really need them here in my part of the world. But obviously you have access to imperial units as well, and then you can just quickly change the scale of the drawing anytime you want. So let's say we would like to have the bigger drawing here. We can always change that to 1 to 10, and it will recalculate. And now, as you can see, it is bigger, but obviously it's not, it's big, it's too big for this specific A3 format of the paper. So yeah, this is how it works. And that's how you connect SketchUp with layout. And if you want to speed up the workflow, basically, we have one more presentation regarding SketchUp today, which is the extensions. I prepared a couple of extensions, actually 7, because Follow Me is a native tool in SketchUp, which not everyone knows how to use. That's why I also will say a couple words about it. So let's begin with extrude lines, which I already used in the roof example in the house. So I'll just double click and we'll select everything, the shape of that horse. And as you can see, this is just a linear drawing. It was a DWG import, or actually DXF import from Inkscape, from free of charge software. Just the graphic from the internet remade as vector image. And then I go to extensions, and it's gonna need a couple seconds. And extrude lines vector by 2 point. I'll click that. Click. I'll go higher, click again. So you always want to make sure that you are following the right axis, the one you want to extrude on. And as you can see now, it is extruded. And it is still, the lines are being selected still. So now I can utilize another plugin to close that shape. I can go to extensions and Emerald Face Creator, which is another free of charge plugin. And just quickly, let me mention that you can get the plugins in the extension warehouse. So let's type in Enerod, for example, and you are getting some of her plugins. There's actually probably over 800 plugins of various kinds. So we're gonna quickly present a couple useful of them, but obviously I encourage everyone to look for yourself, look for the solution. Extension warehouse definitely will help because you can find the categories also. You can check the architectural, interior design, and so on. So everyone will find the extension suitable for your needs. I'm sure of that. So that's what it did. It created the face. Let me just quickly show you once again. Extension, extrude, Enerod face creator. And because it is live, it must have crashed. So let me just reopen that quickly. Extension example. Yeah. Okay. That's those are the drawbacks of non-recorded content. Okay, let me just reopen that. Failed to open. Okay, one more time. Open. And okay, now it should work. Yeah. So once again, I'm going to extrude that. Extrude lines vector by 2 point. Click. It should work. Just a couple seconds. All right, done. I'm going to save it. Control S. And now Energy Face Creator. And the bottom can be done as well the same way. So I'll select the bottom, Energy Face Creator. Now I can scale that down a little bit and maybe rise it 90 degrees with the rotate tool. And then I can maybe apply just a material, horse, maybe something like that. And soften smooth edges just to make it look nicer. Oh, we don't want to exaggerate. You don't want anything over 90 degrees because then it becomes, as you can see, we have that glitch effect in every 3D software. It is like this. All right. So from flat drawing, now we have that. So let's proceed. True bend. True bend. We've already that horse created. Maybe I'll paint that over again. True bend bases on the red axis and the green axis. So you always want to make sure that if the stretching, the bending will be this way, you want to make sure that the red axis is from left to right. So once we have that, I'm gonna select, this is the icon, True Bend, which is another free of charge. All the plugins I'm presenting are actually free of charge today. And not today, but always. So True Bend. And now I have that dots. And if I want to have that more detailed, the bending in a more detailed way, I can type in 50S, which is 50 segments, enter. And now I can just grab it and type in maybe 120 degrees angle, enter, and enter again. And now it nicely bended the geometry with the hidden geometry, which I have on V letter. You can see that it created that nice shape. So now what we can do with that further, I could just hit the top view, which I have on Shift T. And let's say we're gonna create this circle, maybe like this. I'm gonna align it more with the object, maybe like that. Yeah. I'm gonna stretch that out, and now we have nice base for the horse. And because horse is the component, so and also we can use the center on the circle, 180 or actually 120, enter, X2, enter. Now we have 3 horses around the figure. And what we could also do with that, if those are solid, and solid is a one-time grouped object without any holes. So if we have something like this, it's not a solid anymore. But Fixit can repair it for us. So once we have that, we can select the horse, which is also, or is it? Not necessarily. No, I'm not, sorry, I'm not going to do it because I would have to clean that up this time. So I'm going to proceed. But the thing is that with one solid, let me show you just quickly another example. With one solid, you can create the holes in other geometry. So just to give you the idea of what it's doing actually. Let me just make another copy with different angle, 45. And now I'm going to use this, and those are solid tools. So I'm going to subtract one from another. 1, 2, and maybe something more complex. Yeah, 3, and 4. So this is what we have. Looks like cheese a little bit. Okay, so now once we have that, we can continue to another scene. Stretch by area, which is very interesting plugin. Okay, let me do that. Stretch by area. So when you have the situation, let's say you have the wall and you want to create some openings, and the openings are bigger than your window that you already have. Let me also intersect with selection, and then I'll delete that manually. Okay, so we have 2 openings, and maybe one will be bigger, one will be smaller. And we have that window. Just cut that and put it here. We have that window, and we want that to be exactly the dimension of the opening. We don't want to move the wall, we want to move the window. So what we could do, we could use a stretch by area plugin, which is very powerful. I would pay a lot of money for that plugin if it wouldn't be free of charge, because it saved me like 4 months of my life already if I would calculate that. So how it works? You click, you select the object, and you ruin the geometry. So you want to make sure that you are sticking to the right axis and to the right object. So I want to make that unique, and then I want to select just the bottom part, and all those red dots are telling me that the selection is correct. And then with Shift Hold, I'm going back to the windowsill area, click. And now it is stretched. It is actually not stretched, but because normally people who are not aware of this tool are doing it with the scale tool. And that's problematic because you are influencing the profile of the window. The vertical profiles are being distorted. So that's the reason why you want to do it with just stretch by area. So now I want to select the left side, and I'm going to do it like this. Okay, and now I can just copy the window that's already here. And let's say I want that window to be higher. Obviously, it won't look good, but it's just an example. So now again, I'm going to select the top, click again, and here the side, click. I can hold Shift to lock the axis, the green axis this time, click, and now it's done. And basically, before that, I discovered that plugin, I was doing it manually, one piece after another. So let me just quickly show you how I was doing it. I made that unique, and then I would have to get inside each object and select, stretch that 50, then to another 50, and to another, and so on. So it was very, very time consuming and quite annoying, I have to admit. And with this plugin, it is very, very fast. And even if you would like to move with the wall, you can still do it, because now I am outside of the geometry. So if I would select all three objects, now it is separated from the rest, I can still work on that. So I can click here, I can click on the entire stuff, on entire object, I can stretch that out, or I can just lower it if I would need to. I can type in 100, enter, and it will also work. So very, very powerful plugin. Okay, on to the next one. Fixit was already mentioned, but let me show you what can you do with that as well. So you can right click on, obviously I encourage to put that Fixit on shortcut as well. I have it on Alt F, and here it is, Fixit. It will fill the holes in the geometry, because we have some missing geometry here. Sometimes when you are doing the import into SketchUp from other formats, it creates some holes. So Fixit may help you with that. Also, that Enerod Face Creator also can be helpful in this scenario. So I'll click Fixit, and it is fixed. And here we have a little mess, a little bit of mess with those lines and those holes. I can also right click on that object, fix it. And now it is fixed. With the horse, you have to be careful, because if you would decide to use that on DWG object, which is just the flat, just the curves and lines, Fixit will actually think that those are just trash geometry, some unwanted pieces, and it will get rid of it completely. So you have to be aware that when you are importing DWG from AutoCAD or other sources, you don't really want to influence with that script, with Fixit, those objects. All right, so on to the next one, texture positioning, which is the normal procedure in SketchUp. Requires something like 7 or 8 clicks. So you'd have to get into the object. So double click. I click on the object. You need to make sure that the entity info tells you that the face have the material, because outside, as you can see, the group doesn't have the material. The correct way to apply materials in SketchUp is to apply it on the face, because only then you can right click, and this is the process of rotating the texture. Right click, texture, position, right click, rotate 90, enter. So it's quite problematic. Of course, sometimes you need it, because sometimes you just want to manually rotate on a different angle. But basically, if you want to make it faster, there's the plugin to do it, which is Enerod texture positioning. So you can just select everything, and you click either counterclockwise or clockwise, or your custom angle, maybe 45, and it will give us the nice result. So quite often I see in the visualizations that someone who's using the wood on the objects, wooden material, they don't really care about the positioning of the texture. And if it's not flowing with the object, with the actual object, it looks weird. So with this plugin, you just click once, and then we can depatternize that, which is here, the last option. It will randomly position those textures on the surface, which creates the illusion that those are actually multiple different textures, not just one, because this is just one texture, wooden fence, and some JPEG from the internet. And also here, we can do it here, just 90 degrees rotation, and yeah, and the fence looks much better now with the correct position of the texture. And here's another example. Let's say we have some marble tiles, and we want to make them more distinguished, more not that repeatable. So I selected everything, made that inside one group, and I'll explode that. So explode. And now I'll apply the material. And now, as you can see, the pattern is quite, it repeats itself here, 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 and so on. So with that depatternize, I can click a couple times and it breaks the repeatability thanks to that. And afterwards, if you would need those objects to be back in a group because we exploded it, there's also a nice script for that from Chris Fulmer. You go to extensions, Chris Fulmer tools, and lose to groups. We just click on that with the selection, click, and the script went through the objects and it automatically made them back in the groups. And in case we would need some additional work with, I don't know, maybe some solid operation on top of that, we can do it thanks to that plugin. Let's see, maybe like that. We would need that cut in the tiles, so we can use the trim on each tile. Do it again, trim, click, and again. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, and then it trims, it stays, it leaves the original geometry, but it does the cut. So that's how we can utilize it as well. Okay, on to the next one, Zorro. Zorro is a very old plugin, and it works with the section tool. So let's say you would like to have, and also we can do the same thing here with the patternize. And let's say you would like to have the cut next to the wall, right? So we want to do that cut and we don't want to manually draw the lines and pull down each tile. So we enter the object. That's quite important because Zorro will cut through everything if you do it outside of the group. And you just click on the section plane, the native SketchUp tool, and you can lock with Shift hold, you can lock to the axis, to the line, or to the face, click, or actually to the face only, not to the line. Right click, slice model at section. This is the Zorro command. So slice model at section, click. Now I can delete that. And now, as you can see, it has created that cut, but it didn't create the face. So fix it can help us to work with that. So on the other wall, the same thing, slice model at section, and fix it. And now we have nice cut done in just seconds. So that's what we can do with this. So on to the next one, follow me tool. So here is, it's not really problematic in this place because you don't really need to follow me on long distances or even short distances, but straight lines, basically, straight movement. You don't need that. You can do it very quickly with just the push-pull, and you can then group and delete the rest. But what about curved surfaces? Not everyone knows how to use follow me in SketchUp. I really quite often need to teach that basics to my students. So let me just quickly mention of how we can do it. So first, I'm gonna select that line and weld it back because those are exploded edges. So weld edges. Yeah, and now I can copy that. Control C. And I go inside the object. Let me just make sure that those are unique components. And now Shift V, paste in place. And now I'll click on that icon, which is follow me. Click. And obviously I'm going to do it with the shortcut and fix it to fix the rest. And I want to reverse that faces also with the shortcut. I have it under the escape, which is tilde up. So now on to the next one. We still have the curved line in the memory, so we can utilize it. Let me just real quickly do it. So double click on the profile. So I have those profiles. I've drawn them earlier, and you don't really need to align that. It can, because it's actually already aligned when you will look at it from the top. It is aligned here. So that's the only point of alignment that we require for follow me. And now follow me, I have on shortcut Shift F. So the selection then Shift F and click. And it's, as you can see, it created the profile. With hidden geometry, we can tell that how many segments we actually have. And on to the next one, flashing. Shift V, paste in place, Shift F, click. Done. On to the next one. Shift V, Shift F. And now I delete the shell. Okay. And on to the last one, Shift V, Shift F. And this is done. And let's say now that we would like to create some openings in that geometry. So that was a follow me, but this is just the raw geometry that we need to work on further. So with correct face knife, behind it, we have already some windows, but they are covered with those. Yeah, I forgot what it's called, but you know, the part of the external elevation, the decor. So what we can do, we can select that. And once we have that selected, there's correct face knife, trim objects by face. That's what the command is called. So I have the object selected, and behind it, I have the plane with the cuts, with the opening. So I'll click here, and now I need to look for it. So hover over the object, click, hit enter, and it's done. So it's very quick, very powerful plugin, again, free of charge. It can be downloaded from Gumroad, I believe. I'm not really sure whether it's on 3D on Extension Warehouse. Maybe it is, but like I said, when you will type in that name in the web browser, in Google or anything else, you will definitely find it. And we also will provide you with the links for download of these plugins with James. So let me just finish off with just one last object. So here I would like to have one more window, but correct face knife will not really work with that because it only selects each individual face. So what we can do, we can still utilize the trim because those are solid and this is solid too. So I'll click here, trim, click. And now I can do the same here. So I'll select and now I can subtract that. Click. And now it's done. And now I can copy the window, rotate that 45 degrees, and I'll just hover over here and move it on the axis. Yeah, maybe like that. And it should be just fine. All right. So that's the last thing I wanted to say about extensions. So back to you, James.
So my screen is viewable now. What we're going to look at now is a couple of paid extensions, one called Flex Tools, one called Profile Builder. These are very powerful tools, and you'll see the reason why. We have got the planners proposed of a kitchen, looking at some more photo match, where we took the photograph from site and we built up the model from it, and it's all to scale from dimensions as well. We cross-checked it. Here's an example of the ambient occlusion shading on the model. It's really, really cool feature. Clicking on that side of the kitchen to show how it matches in. And then back to that kind of clay effect. So I'm going to go back to plan proposed. These two toolbars at the top are what we're focusing on, just one tool of each, maybe two in fact on the profile builder. But Flex Tools and Profile Builder are must to have in your arsenal of extensions. They're paid extensions, but nonetheless they're very powerful. I recommend you look at them. Camera, perspective, orbit round, let's zoom in. Here we want to put in a door. So I'm just going to click on this door here. Click it there and you'll notice that it automatically cuts the side. Now I'm just going to click on this grip here in the corner and take it down onto the ground. And then I'm going to move this by the midpoint and align it to here. So the beauty with these doors from Flex Tools is that they're dynamic. Okay, we can click on it back and forward. Just going to flip it to the other side as it would be. And then the next thing I want to do is I want to draw a jam detail. Now, in the profile builder, it deals with jams, doors, skirtings, architraves, cornices, many different things. Click here. I have already created an assembly which has obviously got the architraves and the frame all intact. So you can build up pretty complicated construction components and save them and then reuse them. Click on it. So I'm just going to click on this tool here. I'll start with that point there. Taking it up. Locking it to find that point across here. To find that point and then take it down and click there and press escape. So we have got the detail in that doorway. Isn't that really cool? Really fast. So that was already pre-made, okay? But again, an extension with a lot of power, you can make many things with it. Even externals, railings, fencing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the tape tool and I'm going to tape out, let's say 15. Click from here coming up, let's say 95. And I'm going to draw a rectangle. Okay, I'm just going to go over here now, find the midpoint, and just do a very simple kind of sloping surface there, just to match in with the similar one on this architrave. I'll select it, right click, align view. Now this here, I'm going to close down the assembly. I'm going to go to the profile dialog. This was one I made earlier, as they say. But let's just go to add and just give this a name. Real skirting demo. Click OK. And we want to place the placeholder for drawing it is going to be down to the bottom right. So there's the point there. It's a 95 high by 15 wide. Okay, let's save it. I'm going to save it into my folder where I have my profiles. Profile saved. Okay, so let's do this. Let's get rid of this first. Browse to the library, there it is there. So imagine you had a whole stack of different profiles set up. Really good. Click it. Using this tool here, I'm going to go into this part here. Click. Now it's going in the opposite direction. If I draw it that way, it'd be fine. If I draw it that way, it's going inside the wall. So what I can do is I can mirror it to then go this way. There. There. Escape. Okay, and then we can just do this round the corner, just to give you an idea of what this is all about, this tool. There. And there. Okay, I want to see the edge there. It does an automatic softening feature, so I have a plugin here. Soften edges, soften all edges, unsoften edges. Boom, there we go, brings that back. And I can do the same with that one as well. So, a couple of nice examples of fast plugins to use. And hopefully, you know, you're convinced there's many more things on these tools to do. So I'm just going to shut the door on that one. And yeah, hope you enjoyed that quick one. Thank you. So this is a permit drawing that we did for a client in America, where we had to show the window insertions a retrospective job actually. We got some photographs from the architect. We modeled up the Velux roof light position in the space, modeled all the rest of that from the building being scanned. So we'll just look at a little video here on just some of the photo matching. Photo matching is something that is really used very much more less and less now. I think a lot of people know what it does. It's very powerful because if you're on site, you can take photographs in certain views, and you can take that photograph in and match the axis to the photograph and draw literally as close to the full scale of the information that you've taken a snapshot of on site. So I'm always looking at taking photographs, whether it's in externals, gardens, existing houses, anything that we're going to detail up. If there's a real life example of it, I will photograph it, and as best I can, use the photo match technology. And this is what was used to build up. I'm actually taping off. I know roughly the proportions of the window because I've matched the grid scale to the sizes on site, so that when I draw on top of that, it is literally close to the real scale. There's a bit of projecting the photo onto the model to let you see what project photo does. But this is then like a mock-up of the model after, that initial stage. And then you can see it's fitting very well. Very impressive feature. And then this is the model. This building was scanned with the scan to iPad, scan to design feature that you have in your subscription. It was then sent, it was modeled. We came back, we tweaked it because some of the timber wasn't fitting properly. It was slightly out. So we made the adjustments, but everything around that aperture there is done from the photo. So let's look at climate and environmental analysis in a tool called Pre-Design that you have. Go to File, pull down menu, start Pre-Design. So you can either choose a study location of your choice for your site by creating a new study, or you can click on an existing study to review the data. So pre-design is used for anyone designing a building renovation, or outside space, and anyone looking for design inspiration or ideas when considering a new building design, renovation, or outside space. So looking at the site in context, we can get information about the climate to help build better. Get inspiration and ideas from the local climate data, and environmental considerations. This helps with the design strategies of what will work before you start building your 3D model. It also generates content that helps you convince others of the merit of alternative design strategies. You can then choose to download the report in either Excel or PDF report format for documentation purposes. So let's look at the Revit importer very quickly. The Revit importer is for SketchUp. It imports Revit files as a seamless transfer from Revit models into SketchUp for further design, visualization, and detailing. Go to File, Import. I have an RVT file here, importing into 2024. searching for the file format, Revit file, click it, import. The Revit importer ensures smooth compatibility between Revit and SketchUp, allowing efficient workflows and flexible design process. It enables professionals to transfer Revit models into SketchUp effortlessly for further customization, visualization, or detailing without losing data or quality. Information in the outliner shows the data coming across. Tag information in the tag manager to complement that. Okay, so Scan Essentials now, which is the SketchUp Studio importing of 3D scan data to model and design accurately. We have the toolbar positioned up here. Let's open a point cloud file. We have 3D formats here, various point cloud versions. Let's open the file. So Scan Essentials allows SketchUp Studio users to import and work with point cloud data from 3D scans. Enabling precise modeling of existing structures and environments. Let's go to the point cloud manager here. Increase the point size. Various shading options, colorization, change the blending, several settings to work with. It offers tools to manage, inspect, and align the models with the scan data, ensuring accuracy. Integration with layout also helps create professional 2D documentation from 3D scans. It's detecting the points on the scan. For now, let's turn this off. We'll draw the area of interest in our design. Let's select this, turn it into a component. Now let's go to the ground mesh tool on bounded. 3 meter mesh cell size and create the mesh. We could go more dense for more accuracy, but we'll keep it like this for now. We can then select the terrain and use the Make Solid tool. Let's turn off the point cloud. So from here, we can view that this is now a solid group. So if I want to bring in my building footprint, bring back on the point cloud. Let's orient the building. Let's flip it. We can then edit this building footprint turn it into a massing model. The benefit with this is that we can now use the solids tools. Should we move this model down and get some volume cut quantity from the terrain excavation. Let's lift this out. To reveal the volume cut. And finally, we can use the point cloud 3D scan data to fully model in SketchUp. The benefit of this is that we can use the point cloud data as a snapping mechanism, in this case using the push-pull tool. We can see SketchUp in the office and now also on site. Using Trimble Connect enhances collaboration and project management across various phases, from design coordination to on-site and off-site communication, such as Trimble Connect itself on site, Trimble Connect Augmented Reality, Trimble Connect Mixed Reality, Trimble XR10 with the HoloLens 2, and Trimble Field Link Mixed Reality. So talking about sharing links, let's have a look at the link share feature within SketchUp. Link sharing via Trimble Connect in SketchUp lets you share your 3D models instantly through a web link to anybody who doesn't have the software. So in this model, we'll go to File, Trimble Connect, Save to Trimble Connect. This is going into a folder that I created earlier. I'm just going to click on the same name and upload it, basically updating the file. So you can see on the Trimble Connect toolbar the cloud updater. What I want to do now is I want to send the link. File, Trimble Connect, share a link, create a shareable link. This can be turned off at any time. Let's click on this again. Let's copy to the entire web browser and paste the link. So what we're going to see now is the uploaded shared model from Trimble Connect. So your clients or team can explore the model in their browser. No need for the software. They can zoom, pan, and orbit the model. This is all done in real time, making collaboration and feedback quick and easy. Let's make a change here. I'm going to change the logo, background color. Save the file. It's uploading it, updating on the Trimble Connect server. Let's have a look in here. Usually a refresh is best to see the update. And there you go. Let's change it back. Without refreshing the page this time, we will be notified. There is a new version of this file. Would you like to view it? Let's click the update. And there we have it. The change is made. So now looking on to this very good feature called SketchUp for iPad. So everybody has this with a subscription. What we're doing here is we're showing a video of the iPad Pro being used to scan an interior room. So you'll see the grid there. That's confirming, the area of the scan that's going to be created and exported into the SketchUp for iPad software. And then it's going to be taken into SketchUp for desktop. As I say, this is amazingly a lot of customers we have, they actually don't know that they've got this. So you see here now it's coming into SketchUp for iPad. Just going through the organization of the model, it comes in automatically like that. It's then uploaded, published to Trimble Connect. And just going through the structure of the tagging, turning some things off and on, you'll see the information that the scan actually provides. It's for me, I want that on an Android tablet, but there's no news on that yet. So we have an amazing tool there. And then also with the walls generated, you'll find that it actually builds the logical tagging for color by tag that Adam spoke about earlier in his modeling. And yeah, very, very good. So just to finish off, we're going to look at just very quickly some use cases and workflows where SketchUp's getting used in construction for business pursuits and bidding, project coordination, detailing and constructability, and design services. So here we see SketchUp models with spreadsheets. Quantifier Pro is a plugin for SketchUp to do cost estimation. And there's another plugin there called Estimator 2 for SketchUp as well. We then have a 4D schedule visualization tool where you can basically phase, 4D phasing they call it, to animate the build process. Site logistic planning, which is obviously very important for construction companies. It makes real sense to use this in SketchUp because it's very visual and straight away you can see the challenges on site. And detailing and constructability, virtual mockups. Anything that's intricate and requires a bit more attention to detail, SketchUp is the best for that to, model it prior to confirmation of your idea. And then this finally is a site planning model which is used in SketchUp scenes. I just see Adam's putting in some of the links in the chat to the field tech. Worth your while clicking on those links to see the apparatus on the communication capabilities of SketchUp now through the construction site processes. And the other thing as well is that it's really coming on now because this whole connected 3Cs connected construction is making a lot more sense. How would you manage to do this with 2D drawings? It's just impossible. Really impossible. And just wrapping up on some of the feature visibility. of the application access for SketchUp, running from what's available on the web free version, the web go version, the iPad, layout, and desktop. And some of the subscription access features running from free, go, pro, studio, secondary and further higher education, and on the trial. And until next time, folks, thank you for your attendance and focus. We appreciate you, and until next time, take care.